All right, hi there, everybody. Welcome to the latest Wellness Institute webinar called Finding the Right Tools for Healthy Weight Loss. With me here are Wes Pon-Moransky, our Interim Manager of Coaching Services, and Laura Creek-Newman, one of the registered dietitians here at the Wellness Institute.
Hello.
Hi there.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. We're going to use today to, again, talk a little bit about our topic, which is, again, finding the right tools for healthy weight loss. What you can expect to learn from this webinar. We're going to flip to the next slide here. We're going to talk a little bit about our philosophy that we use in the weight loss clinic, but also as well as just the Wellness Institute in general. We're going to talk a little bit about the evidence, and then we're also going to touch on a little bit at the end about the weight loss clinic. So hopefully you can leave this webinar learning a little bit about all these different topics, and hopefully we can answer any questions that may come up at the end as well, if there are any. So first things first, just a quick little bit about the Wellness Institute for those of you who may be unaware. So we're located in Winnipeg, Manitoba. We pride ourselves on being a world leader in the prevention and management of chronic disease. So what you're seeing here is just a picture of our building. A lot of nice natural light with all those big windows. Our goal at the Wellness Institute is to provide some lifestyle interventions. We want to promote the optimal health of our community, and that's kind of our main goal. We do a lot at the Wellness regarding community outreach. We have partnerships with lots of different organizations to try to improve the health of the community. The Wellness Institute offers many different services. Again, we're not going to go through too much of the services today because we've covered that in other webinars. We're going to focus today on the health assessment and exercise prescription, nutrition prescription, things that are going to be involved within our weight loss clinic.
All right, thanks, Wes. So our why of being here is we want to promote long-term positive health for the greater community. And our individual why as coaches, well, we're here to support individuals to reach their personal best. We are passionate about working with our clients to help them achieve their health and wellness goals. And we want our clients to feel that they are supported every step of the way. So now that you know our why, I want to ask you a question, just to think on it. What's your why? You know, we're in resolution season right now. It's that time of year where we reflect on the year prior, we think about the year coming up, what we'd like to see, what we'd like to do. Maybe we have some goals in mind. Maybe we just have some general ideas. So a lot of people are starting to think about starting new things right now. And of course, that beginning of the year feels like a really good time to start. But of course, any time is a good time to start whenever you're ready. So if you're starting to think about making some changes, you want to think about what is your why for the changes? What types of things are you thinking of changing? What's driving you to do that? You know, and thinking a little bit broader too, not just what you'd like to see different, but what do you have in place already? What are your supports? What's going great for you? Or what are the things that are going to help you to do those things that you'd like to do a little bit differently? Because it's that time of reflection as well, think back on our history. Our history is one of our greatest resources because it helps us know what we've achieved and also where we have some learning to do. So we want to think a little bit about what has worked well for us in the past, what really meshes with our lifestyle and our values, and maybe what hasn't. And it can be common to think of those things as a failure, but it's also really a big learning opportunity. Are there areas that you just want to explore a little bit more? Maybe those are places where we need different supports or just a few more tools to do the job there. So I'm going to leave you with that and we'll keep going, and we'll come back to that in a minute. So as Wes mentioned, we have we take a very holistic approach here at the Wellness Institute. All of our programs are multifaceted, and we call this lifestyle medicine. So this means that we take that holistic approach to health, and we look at all the different factors that go into it, and we recognize that not only are they connected to each other, nothing's in isolation, but also that we have different levels of control over these different factors that relate to our health and well-being. Whether we have a lot of control over a certain part of our health or just a little bit, in any case, there's usually something that we can do to help promote the health that we have or live our best, most vibrant, healthiest lives in those areas there. And we always take that into the context of your values, your lifestyle, your preferences, and the responsibilities that we all have in day-to-day life. So that's our approach of lifestyle medicine.
Awesome. All right. So taking that approach and understanding that holistic aspect of the many different factors that are involved in health, the Wellness Institute has come up with what we call the Wellness 10, which you're seeing on your screen here. Wellness 10 just is 10 different behaviors and habits that have shown to have the biggest impact on our health. It's important to note that the human body is extremely complex. There's so many different factors that are involved in health and wellness, and there's no one factor that occurs in a vacuum, but rather everything's connected. We want to treat our body in the best way possible, so we want to look at all these different factors and ask ourselves, look at all these ways that we can potentially improve, and in any of these factors that we see, is there a change that I'm looking to do? Is there room for improvement? And is there something I feel confident in doing in order to help, again, improve our long-term health? Some of the factors that you see here are things such as regular exercise, which we know studies have shown time and time again has great benefit, not only to physical health, but also mental health as well. Individuals who focus on positive nutritional habits find that their long-term health tends to improve. Things like stress control or mindfulness, things like limiting alcohol intake. These are just a few examples of what you see on your screen of these 10 positive behaviors that all contribute in a positive fashion. Sometimes they can be confusing on what to do and where to start, but again, that's why we're here, and that's why our coaches focus on many of these factors to figure out where is a place where you find that you want to improve and how can we get you from A to B. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about the Wellness 10 factors that you see up on your screen, you're more than welcome to visit our website. We do have a page on our website. It's titled the Wellness 10 that goes into a lot of these behaviors in a little bit more detail. So feel free to visit that on your own time as well. So this brings us kind of to our approach, which we're going to talk about right now. So as you've kind of gathered, our focus is on that holistic aspect, looking at all these different factors. But the big thing that we want to do is talk about progression and not perfection. Our team focuses on building long-term habits that are sustainable and last a lifetime. And sometimes if we try to go 10 out of 10 effort in something, it doesn't necessarily work. What we like to stress is that even a little bit better, going from a 3 out of 10 in terms of behavior to a 4 out of 10 could be better. And when I say using that 10-point scale, I mean if I consider my current exercise habits at a 3 out of 10, maybe being a 10 out of 10 is not necessarily important, right? Maybe if I can improve my habits to get a 4 out of 10, that's going to have positive implications for my long-term health. And that's why we always want to talk about progress, not perfection. It's not about being perfect because nobody's perfect, but if we talk about 1% better every day can go a long way toward our health.
Absolutely. Part of that progress and perfection is making sure that whatever we're doing is something that is meaningful and valuable to you. And that's where our coaches really strive to make sure that everything we're doing is in your best interest. One thing we'll never do is tell you what you ought to be doing, because it's your life and it should be what's important to you, your preferences and your values that drive the whole process. Our coaches are going to help you make sure that those values are at the forefront of the why of what we're doing and the how of what we're doing it. From there, we do goal setting, but it's all on what is meaningful and what's realistic for you in your lifestyle. Like Wes said, when we're taking that long-term approach, we're not looking at something that we can maybe do for a few weeks or a few months, or something you feel you'd have to suffer through for the next however many years. We want to be looking at things that you want to do, things that are enjoyable to you, or things that are truly meaningful to you, and building from there, creating goals that are going to take that step-by-step approach to help you achieve the things that you want out of your life there.
Perfect. So now that you've learned a little bit about our philosophy, we just want to talk a little bit about how we take that philosophy into our weight loss clinic itself. And again, when it comes to finding the tools for the healthy weight loss, again, we use a lot of the philosophy and strategies that we just discussed within the weight loss clinic program itself. So the weight loss clinic has many different factors involved. As noted, with those 10 different factors, we know that there's a holistic approach to health, and we want to reflect that within the weight loss clinic program. So the program includes a multidisciplinary team. So as an example, every participant in our program has an exercise coach, a certified personal trainer. They get a registered dietitian coach, such as Laura here. And we also have an individual on our team who has a master's in social work who can help with some mindset and strategizing and talking about mental barriers as well. So we kind of take all those different aspects and try to get the best coaches to get involved. Getting a complete picture of all of our participants allows us to determine the best practice for working towards building better habits, because we know everybody has a different history, they have different likes, they have different dislikes when it comes to food, exercise, and many other factors. So as Laura said, the more we can do to help work with you to create realistic goals is the better. You'll notice that it is a 4-month program, and that's because we value that long-term sustainable change, and we know building that change doesn't happen overnight. Right? So that's kind of reflected as well in the length of the program. You're going to notice that we do lots of different types of assessments and screening. Again, the more we get to know our participants, the better. So we look at everything ranging from basic health markers such as height, weight, blood pressure, heart rate, weight, but not just weight, but also looking at body composition. We look at individuals' aerobic capacity. We look at many different factors that are involved with overall health, and we look at those factors at the beginning and at the end of the program so we can gauge improvement. With our coaches have access to some online software that allows and just enhances the coaching prospect. Our exercise coaches use an online software and an app that allows us to help with exercises. And then our dietitians also have an online software called Eat Love that they can work with, which we're going to talk about a little bit with Laura right here for you.
Thanks, Wes. So this is a really exciting tool that you would get access to, or that just really helps us all with our meal planning and eating as best as we can. So this is it's more than just a meal plan. It is an online platform. It does make meal plans, but really what it does best is it's an organization and inspiration engine. And it's to help us simplify and to support you during the change process. So just like we personalize and focus every goal around you and what's valuable to you, so should your meal plan and your diet pattern be focused around you, your preferences, your likes, your dislikes, your family's routine. And so that's where a one-size-fits-all meal plan that can be common a lot of times just really doesn't work for a lot of people. So what makes Eat Love different and what makes it so valuable in this process is that it's personalized and it's completely customizable to what you want, what works for you in your life. And this puts you in control. So the program takes over some of those organization bits that can take a lot of time, like putting together a grocery list and organizing when you're going to do your cooking and that. And it lets you focus on enjoying your food while also trying new foods, maybe trying out some new techniques, and also while mastering meal balance or whatever other food-related strategies you might be working on right now. This will help you take some of the pressure off, again, make it a little bit easier and support you during that change process. And it also helps us create a fun and enjoyable atmosphere. It lets us engage with our food and build that healthy relationship with it so that we're not feeling that there are a lot of things that are taken away or not allowed. That's never our approach there. It's really about building those tools and those habits for engaging with our food in a really positive way, and trying all sorts of different things, our favorites and new flavors as well. Everything is always allowed on this. You're in control of it. This plan just helps you do the little details a little bit easier.
Awesome. So yeah, things like having that extra software is something that we're really excited about, because it allows us even, again, better tools to help with our coaching. You're going to see some additional tools that we have up on the screen here for you. So in addition to the one-on-one coaching that all our participants get, so they get 2 appointments each month with each of our coaches. And in addition to those one-on-one appointments, we do have extra ways to get more coaching as well. So you can see we have everything from monthly newsletters. We offer all of our participants the option to do some supervised group exercise classes for further opportunities with the exercise coach. We do different types of education sessions, and all this is because we want to, again, build that connection with our clients. One of the phrases we like to use is nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's something that we take to heart here at the Weight Loss Clinic, because we want our participants to trust us, and we're in this business, we're in this field because we like coaching, we like helping people, and the more we can do to build that connection, the better. Anytime someone gets themselves involved in any form of health coaching, they're placing a lot of trust in someone, right? And we don't take that lightly. What we want is, if you are looking to improve your health, we want to be there to help you in the best way possible, and that's what drives us. And we hope that that helps drive you as well. It's personal health is a very dearly held value, and again, we try to do our best to make sure we go the extra mile to give you that best support that you need to help maximize your life for yourself. Just to give you a little bit of some background on the Weight Loss Clinic itself. So we have some data that you see up on your screen, and this data was taken from our pilot project, which was approximately about 1.5 years ago. So we had some successes in terms of participants losing weight and losing body fat, as well as increased confidence, which is something that we really love to focus on, because those outcomes can be great, but an increase in confidence and how to continue doing that day in, day out for the long term is, again, that's really what we're about. We want to provide those sustainable changes where we see benefit continuing and we have the confidence to continue making them. So those are the types of things that we love to see. And we also love seeing some comments like these from one of our clients. So Anne, who was one of our early participants, this is just a quote she had from her time that she spent in the program. And again, it just really highlights the fact that what we're doing here is we're trying to do sustainable long-term change, right? If something doesn't work for long-term, why practice it in the short term? Let's build those habits to get us to where we want to be in the long term.
Absolutely. It's these kinds of outcomes that you see on your screen here that are really meaningful to us, and really these are the things that can't be measured on a scale. We can't measure them in numbers in a way, but these are the things that when we look at our lives and how we feel about how we're living, are we living in that vibrant, healthful way that we want? These are the types of things that help people live in that way that's true to their values.
So one of the things that the Weight Loss Clinic also provides is that we've partnered with the University of Manitoba, who are doing a research study as part of our program. So for participants who have desire, they've included themselves in the study. And what the University of Manitoba is doing is they're looking at, can we determine the efficacy and ensure that we're doing the best possible practice for our clients? So we're really proud to be partnering that to ensure that we're staying on top of the best practices. And our goal is to keep doing the best practices that we can deliver. So with the partnership we have here, we're looking at continuing that, again, for the long term.
Okay, so remember how earlier I asked you to think about your why for changes? So I'd like you to bring that back to the front of your mind now. You might be thinking now, well, is this right for me? Or is this something that I might want to try? Or I don't know. So let's think about some of those why questions again. you know, what areas do you want to change? Do you have some ideas of what you'd like to be doing differently? It's okay if you don't, but maybe you do. And, you know, the clearer the picture that you have of this type of change or how you'd like to do things differently, the greater the likelihood of success, the more ready you likely are to start making those changes there. And it could be in any place. Maybe you're looking at just changing your meal pattern, eating more regularly or consistently. Or maybe you're looking at changing up the types of foods you're having. Maybe you're looking at building fitness, or maybe you're trying to gain strength to prevent re-injury. Or maybe you have a trip coming up and you want to build your stamina and your strength so that you can do all the things you wanted to do on that trip. There's so many different reasons. And again, all of those are personal. And if it's meaningful to you, then that can be a great reason to do something. Once you have your reason, you want to think a little bit more on that why question. What drives me to do this? What benefits might I get from this? How will things be different for me if I make these changes? And we really want to think tangible examples with this here. So for something like maybe you really want to work on your meal pattern because you're having low energy through the day and you're just not able to get through it the way you want to. And so that's a great example of what would be different if you worked on it. Again, having that why, bringing it back to your values here will help support you in that change process and helps to strengthen the ideas of what you want to do, and then start the process of making some goals of how we're going to get from point A to point B. And you know what? It's also okay if you're feeling like change just isn't in sight right now. That's okay too. There's no right or wrong. There's no perfect time to do it. What's really important is that when you're feeling ready, that's when you do it. And we're here for you for that. Whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's some point in the future, that's fine. You want to be feeling really ready and know what you want to do right now.
And I think that's an important point Flora makes, because it is true. It's if something isn't important to you, it's not necessarily something that you're going to expend the most effort wanting to do. And again, it's important to recognize that, yes, external motivation can help, but oftentimes what really drives change is when you decide that you're ready for that change. And that readiness is a very big factor. And it's something that can really expedite the process when you know that it's meaningful and you're ready to make that commitment, and you have the time, you have the energy ready to invest in those goals. So we just want to, there we go. No, yeah, there we go. So asking the question of, after hearing all this and thinking about those goals, saying, is the weight loss clinic right for you? So if you're kind of sitting at your desk and you're listening to us and you're kind of nodding your head saying, these are some of the things I've been thinking about and it sounds like we're interested, you can know the program is right for you if you're eager and you're ready to commit. Right? Again, our program does focus on that long-term sustainable change. So it is 4 months. And again, there are appointments weekly and bi-weekly. So it is a little bit of a commitment. And what we've found is that our participants who have had the most success have been in that frame of mind where they're ready to commit and have that energy divested. Right? They've recognized that they wanted to change their health. They were looking for improvement, but more so than anything else, they recognized that they were ready to commit to that time and energy. And that's, again, it's not to be taken lightly. It does take time and effort, just as any good thing in life does. It takes time, it takes energy, and it's important to recognize that, but it's also important to note that that is an integral part of achieving your best success. Okay. So if you're looking to get started, or even if you're looking just to get a little bit more information, there's a few places you can go to hear a little bit more about the Weight Loss Clinic. You can visit our website. So that link on the screen you see there, you can also easily search in Google, of course. That link you see there will take you to the page about our Weight Loss Clinic, and it's going to describe a lot of what we talked about today, but will kind of be on the screen there for you to read and look at a little bit more of the information. If you'd like to do a phone consultation, again, following the link, that'll take you to a page. That link is on our Weight Loss Clinic page, off the link that you see there. So that second link will take you to a booking system where you can book a free 20-minute phone consultation. if you do have more questions or you just like to learn a little bit more about the program or what's involved. And third way is by emailing myself. That's my email up on the screen, and we're going to leave it up there just for a few moments to, if anybody wants to take that down. And I'm more than happy to answer some questions or direct you to any other resources if you need it. But again, hopefully by sitting through here with us today, you've kind of learned a little bit about our philosophy, and you've learned a little bit about how the weight loss clinic goes about trying to, again, what we can do to best support the health of our community, which is something that we care greatly about, and we've been doing for almost 25 years here at the Wellness Institute, and we'd like to keep doing far into the future. So again, we just want to end off by saying we want you to find your best chance of success. And if you're ready, then we're here and willing to help anybody who desires.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you very much. Hopefully everyone has a great day. And again, we look forward to chatting with you in the future.